Am I cheating? Is this really cheating? I think we need to talk. Hi everyone, welcome back to BMD Portraits. Kumusta? And today's a little bit different because instead of jumping straight into shading, I'm going to take you with me through one of the most important steps in realistic portraiture, the sketch. And for this one, I'll be drawing this picture of the legendary superstar Jackie Chan using the grid method. Okay, because here, especially here in the Philippines, napakadaming mga realistic portrait artists ang ito yung ginagamit na method for their outline. So the grid method. Now, this topic is actually, I can say, a bit controversial in the art community because, you know, some people see grids, tracing, or projection as cheating. So, are we a cheat? Others like me, my opinion, see it just part of the process of realism. So, while I sketch right here, Jackie Chan, as preparatory to my charcoal drawing, I want to share my thoughts about it with you. No judgments, just an open, honest conversation. So, but first, as you can see right here, I divided this 8x10 paper that I'm using right now into 16 equal squares. So that might sound like a lot bigger, but actually I prefer bigger grids like this because it still challenges my observation skills. So, but if you can't do big grids, you can try smaller grids for more accurate proportion. So I'm not copying square by square with tiny details. I'm just making sure that the proportions land where they should. So that's what I do. And then, well, yun yung point actually. That's really the point. In realism, accuracy matters. So if, for example, the eyes are even a few millimeters off, the portrait won't feel right. So grids or any other method that helps, malaking tulong talaga siya. Pero they are just tools to get us there. Doon sa gusto nating realistic drawing or portrait. So, and here's the thing. This isn't even new. This is not a new method. Okay, so because history tells us that, you know, Renaissance artists and even before that were using ways to transfer proportions. Some used a simple frame with strings. I read somewhere that this tool, like simple frame with strings, to break their subject into sections. So just like grid, parang grid na rin. Others used a perspective machine, which was basically a wooden frame with wires that divided what they were seeing into squares. So same, parang grid. So these are like exactly our modern grid method. So Vermeer, do you know Vermeer? The Dutch master Johannes Vermeer, who made the famous girl with a pearl earring, is strongly believed by historians to have used a camera obscura which projected an image into his canvas. So accuracy tools have always been part of realism. So hindi naman na talaga siya bago. So as I start drawing Jackie's features, you'll notice I'm not rushing into details. Okay, I'm just focusing on the basic geometric outlines, where the eyes should sit, exactly where the eyes should sit, the angle of the jaw, the slope of the nose, tapos yung hairline, yung shape ng face. And I'm aware that some people say, well, if you use a grid, you're not a real artist. Madami, di ba? That is, a lot of people have that opinion. But I'd respectfully argue that realism itself is about discipline, patience, and precision. So the goal is to capture life as closely as possible. And if tools like grids or tracing, kahit tracing, help artists train their eyes. So if that is the case, then why not use them, right? So and at the same time, I completely understand those who prefer, this is a big word, freehand. Okay, so may mga nagsasabi that it's okay, it's better to practice freehand. Well, freehand builds a different skill. It's about instinct, gesture, and fluidity. And honestly, if you're doing like a stylized or expressive art, grids probably aren't necessary. But if you're chasing realism, kung gusto mo yung talagang totoong-totoo talaga, especially hyperrealism, of course, outlines are not optional. Every old master knew proportions first, details second. Okay, so before anything else, let's go back to the drawing. Now that the outlines are there, I'm starting to black in some light geometric shading, still with a B pencil. So B graphite pencil. So this is just to mark where the darkest shadows will go later. So again, this is purely preparatory work. But it's actually one of the most critical stages. Kasi ito talaga yung foundation eh. You cannot mess this up, this process. So like think of it like how can I say it, building a house, for example. I think nobody calls laying down the foundation cheating, right? So it's just what you need to do before the walls, the roof can stand. So same with portraiture. I think you can compare it to portraiture. Accurate outlines and shadows are the foundation for realism. So if you're a beginner and you feel guilty, which is understandable, for using grid or tracing, well, I think you should not be guilty or feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. What matters is what you do after the grid is erased and disappears. So the realism will come from your patience, your layering, your textures, your shading, and not merely the faint lines you used to get started. So yeah, and here we are almost a complete graphite sketch of Jackiechan using grid method. As you can see here, accurate outlines, solid proportions, and a clear map for the next steps. So this is what we exactly do right now. Okay, and I want to leave you with this. Tools don't make you less of an artist. They're just part of the journey. So what makes you an artist is your eye for detail, your persistence, and the way you bring a portrait to life. The old masters had their tools. Vermeer had his camera obscura, and we have our grids. And at the end of the day, what matters is the final art that you created. So if realism is your goal, embrace this process. And if it's not your thing, then that's fine too. That's the beauty of art. It's wide enough for all approaches. So yeah, thank you so much for drawing the outlines with me today. If you found this conversation helpful, or if you've got strong opinions about tracing and grids, I think you can drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for the next stage of Jackiechan's portrait.